So let's just hop right into it, starting with the 1927 wheat penny. Now here's how many they made for the no mint mark, the D mint mark, and the S mint mark. So the S mint mark only 14 million, the D mint mark 27 million, and over 144 million for the no mint mark. So the S mint mark going to be a little more valuable here. Let's look at some different prices. But first, here's what you want to look for on the D mint mark. So the 1927 D, you want to look for a repunched mint mark. We can clearly see that there in the image displayed, that D mint mark being repunched. Now also on the front of your 1927 pennies, or your 1 cent coins, or your wheat cents, however you prefer to classify them, you want to look for a double die obverse. So look for that there on the lettering of the coin. Now first up is a 1927 D. It's not in the best condition. It's graded at an AU 55. The coin only sold for around $18. So nothing really valuable there. But the high graded version of the coin, the 1927 D, that is graded at a mint state 66 red, this coin sold for over $14,000. So the condition / grade is going to have a huge impact on your coin prices. Now also there's red pennies, red brown, and brown pennies. Different grades for those. So definitely check out my video about that here on the channel. You should find it when you scroll through my videos on the channel. Let's move on to the repunch mint mark. Now I showed you that repunch mint mark, the D mint mark. This coin here is graded at a red brown, mint state 64 red brown, and it's got that RPM, that D mint mark being repunched. Now this coin here sold for over $3,200. But if we look at the same coin graded at a mint state 64 brown, and it's got that repunched mint mark as well, this coin from 1927 sold for a little over $500. So big difference, 500, 3,000, big difference in prices just based on the grade of the coin. Also the double die obverse, that doubling that we looked at on the front of the coin, look for that on the lettering. This coin here has that, and it's graded at a fine 12, so pretty low grade. This coin still sold for over $50, so not really bad in that condition. Now a higher graded version of that coin, graded at a mint state 65 brown, this coin sold for over $500. So again, huge difference in prices there based on the condition of the coin. Now the 1927 high grade. This doesn't have any types of errors. It's solely valuable because it's got that mint state 67 red grade, and because of that, this penny sold for over $7,000. That's right, $7,000 for a 1 cent coin. For the 1927 S, this coin here is graded at an extra fine 40, only sold for around 10 bucks, but the high graded version of the 1927 S sold for over $28,000 because it has that mint state 65 red grade. Man, that is just absolutely amazing. 1927. Now let's check out some other wheat pennies that are worth money. On your 1936 wheat pennies, first thing you want to look for is doubling. So here is some examples of doubling taking place on the 1936 wheat penny on the lettering. So you can look for this with a USB coin microscope up close. It's really difficult to see it from a distance without a microscope. You can also look for that on Liberty. I do have microscopes available on couchcollectibles.com. Link's always in the description of every single video. If you're not sure how to get to the description, you can always do so by going underneath this video and pressing the little gray arrow, and it will show you the description, the gray arrow on the right to the bottom of this video. Also look for that doubling on the date 1936 itself. So here is a few examples of that. Pretty extreme doubling here. Now it's pretty simple. You go to the bank, get a box of pennies, you find any pennies, you separate them by date, and look for the different errors on different yeared pennies. I got pretty much a video about almost every penny out there and different types of errors to look for on different dates. So once you go to the bank and separate those, you can look for these different types of errors. Now let's look at some prices here for the 1936 double die. Now this first coin here is graded at a very fine 35. So it's not got a mint state grade or anything like that. It looks like a regular penny that you would, see in your pocket change, pretty normal condition, I guess you could say. But it does have that doubling. It does have that double die obverse. So that is what's going to give it all of its value. This coin sold for over $175 even in this condition. Now if we look at this other coin, now this coin here is only graded at genuine, and this coin does have that double die obverse as well, and this coin sold for over $325. So we go from 175, 325, and we even get more expensive as we go with the higher grade. Now this coin here is graded at a mint state 63. It is a brown penny, so it's graded at a brown. And this penny does have that doubling again, and it's sold for over $2,800. So of course, the higher the grade, typically in most cases, the more you're going to be able to get out of coins like this. Now that's not it. We go from a 175 to 325 to 2,800 to $12,000. Now we see that the penny before was graded at a brown. This is graded at a mint state 66 red. So of course you can tell the difference in coloration from a brown penny to what is considered a red penny. And this coin here sold again for over $12,000 because of its high grade and because of that doubling taking place on the front of the coin. You can really see the date being doubled here on this coin, as well as the word Liberty there. So always be on the lookout for that double die obverse on your 1936 wheat pennies. Now here is a mint state 65 grade for the 1936 D mint mark. And you would think, oh, it's a mint state grade, it would sell for a lot. However, this coin only sold for $20. But if we look at a 1936D with the mint state 67 red grade, this coin sold for $4,000. So the grade, of course, is going to affect the coin tremendously in value. So always keep that in mind. It varies basically on every different type of coin out there. So that's what I talk about in my other videos. Feel free to go check those out. Now for the 1936 proof coin, this coin is graded at a proof 66, and this coin sold for over $8,000. And of course, look at the condition of that thing. That is an excellent condition. So that is why the coin sold for over $8,000. Now for the 1936S, this coin only sold for around $30 at a mint state 65 grade. But this coin here, the 1936S at a mint state 67 grade, sold for over $4,900. So nearly a $5,000 penny there. And then of course we have the 1936S high graded coin. This coin sold for over $2,800, again because of its high grade. Doesn't have any types of errors or anything like that. Like I said, in 1914 they produced over 75 million for the no mint mark and over 4 million for the S mint mark. However, for the D mint mark in 1914 they only produced a little over 1.1 million of those coins. So they're definitely more sought after, even in, you know, not so great condition. First up, here is a 1914 wheat penny that has not been graded. It's sold on eBay as is, just like you see here in the image, for over $1,900. $1,900. Now if we move on to this penny here, this is graded by PCGS at about uncirculated 58. So it isn't a mint state grade, but we're going to look at a mint state grade here in a minute. This 1914D sold for over $4,000. Now, here is a 1914D that has an extremely high grade. Now, this coin is graded at a mint state 66 red. Now, because of this high grade, this penny here sold for over $80,000. When coins sell for this much, it's because there's probably not many of these coins out here graded at this grade or higher. So that will, of course, you know, increase the value of the coin and the demand for it. So let's move on to another 1914 in not so great condition. Again, now this coin is not graded by a coin grading company. It's sold on eBay as is for over $285. 285 bucks. Now here's the 1914 no mint mark. Again, I told you they produced a lot of these. However, this is an extremely high grade, graded at a mint state 67 red. And because of that, this wheat penny sold for over $28,000. $28,000, man, I could do so much with that. Moving on to a 1914 low grade. Now this is a lower grade. It's graded at a very fine 20. You can see that it's not in the best condition. However, the coin still sold for over 10 bucks. $10 penny. Now for the 1914S, again, we have a coin here that has not got a really high grade. It's graded at a very fine 35. So the coin has definitely seen its days, but very fine 35, I'll take it. The coin sold for a little over $65. But if we look at a coin that is an extremely high graded version of the 1914S, it's graded at a Mint State 66 red out of the Jack Lee collection, and this coin here sold for over $83,000. $80,000. Wow, man. What would you do with $80,000? Let me know in the comments below. Guys, don't forget to subscribe in the middle. Check out the videos to the left of me. And until tomorrow, I will see you on the comment section below. This is Couch Collectibles, and this is where I disappear.